This is the Razer Kraken V4 Pro wireless headset. It can be plugged in for wired use, so you don't have to worry about battery life, and it's compatible with PCs and consoles. In fact, using this OLED control hub, and I'll show you the OLED here in a moment, you can switch directly between the two on the fly, so PC, console, just like that. And if you've used wireless headsets before, you know, something like the Sony XM5s that I talk about a lot on my channel whenever I talk about headsets. I like this one a lot. It's lightweight, but it doesn't fold, which bothers me, but that's a video for another time, or for the past if you want to look at those videos. But I like these because they're lightweight. This is a different type of beast, and I don't think Razer's intention here is for you to Bluetooth connect this to your iPad or your phone and then hop on an airplane for 6 hours, because these are 400 grams. They're a bit on the heavier side. They're thicker, they're tighter when they go on your head. I think they're really meant for just gaming it out. And in that case, they do a very good job of that. With the Sensa HD haptics, you get way immersive and richer sound than like the average or even above average headset. I found it to be, even though it's kind of a higher price, I think it's worth the price if you're really into gaming at your desk, gaming in your home office, your bedroom, and you just want like a really good balanced audio, clear mids, strong highs, really rockin' bass. You will get that from this. It does require the use of Synapse, in particular for the control hub to work. But if you're in the Razer ecosystem, you're using Synapse 4 anyway, all right? You're in it anyway. So now with Sensa, I keep wanting to say Sansa. I think from Game of Thrones, Sansa Stark. I don't know why I keep trying to say it. That's gotta be the only reason. But Sensa, you get, like I mentioned, way more vibration, kind of like a controlled vibration. So for example, if there's an explosion in the game, if you're not wearing these, you hear the explosion. If you're wearing these, you feel the explosion. I think that's really the key differentiator. Okay, all the basics behind us. It's time to go through the headset. So I'm gonna give you a tour of that. We'll turn it on, I'll show you how it works, and then we'll do the same thing with the OLED control hub. So let's take a tour of the headset. We have on the right side our equalizer button, so you can change between different equalizer presets. This is your HD Sensa intensity, so you can control that as well, which you might want to do, depending on the type of game that you're playing and I suppose your mood. And that's it for the right side driver. For the left side, this is where we have our microphone on and off, dial, power button with an LED indicator. This will tell you things like it's charging or it's fully charged. USB-C port if you want to plug it directly in, and then hidden right here is the microphone. And I'm a huge fan of hidden, tucked away microphones. You can see it glides in and out pretty easily. You just want to make sure as you're turning it that it will go right back in where it belongs. It is, pretty adjustable as well. If you'd like that, you can just get it off to the side, but then it's going to be a little harder to put back in. So pay attention and you'll be happy with what you get. Okay, so we have the Razer logo with a really nice honeycomb design here. All these little dots, I think, add, if it were a bear, I don't think it would look quite as good. Let's fire it up. Oh, other side. All right, you may have heard the voice assistant telling us the power is on. This is all customizable inside of Razer Synapse the way that you like it, okay? And it can be, reactive, pulsing, static, all of that stuff. I just noticed this. I like this. Razer puts the height level in here too. So if you realize that you like it a certain way, because headsets, right? You grab them, you put them away, you're naturally going to lose exactly where it was. So that's a cool way to indicate where you liked it. Okay, the next thing I want to take a look at is the control hub. By the way, the dial does click. That's a must. I like when dials click. Okay, here's our OLED control hub. I'll turn it on in a moment and sort of walk you through it. If you've seen the Black Widow V4 Pro, you'll be really familiar with the interface here. And that's a plus. It's good to see consistency, especially if you own multiple Razer peripherals. And I think the best way to enjoy Razer is when you have multiple peripherals, when you can have the colors the same or in concert with one another. And then now that they've added this OLED display to another peripheral outside that keyboard, very cool that it follows the same patterns. Okay, power, dial, listen to this one. Now it's a bit on the tight side, but not in a bad way. I like how tight this is. A bit reflective here. Fingerprints wouldn't be a Razer product without fingerprints, but you won't find yourself touching here. The only reason I touched it is so I could grab it off the desk and bring it here to where I do my filming. On the sides, it's ribbed, which looks really cool. Bare on the back, auxiliary, PC, and console inputs. Again, hot swap capable. But this does have both 2.4 wireless through a dongle and Bluetooth. In fact, you can do it simultaneously. So if you wanted to listen to something on your phone through Bluetooth, and then you wanted to listen to your game or your chat through the 2.4, you totally can. Simultaneous audio, which is very, very cool. Okay, let's fire it up. All right, I don't have quite enough length here to make this work. Let me see if this will work. This is just power now. Okay, I only have power right now because I want to make sure I can get this on camera for you. So this interface is exactly what you see on the the Black Widow, which is really cool. So the default is to have this be volume control. So volume's going up, volume's going down. You can change it just by pressing this options button, which I realized I called the power button earlier, my apologies. You can change it to your haptics control. So you can have a custom setting, which we would do inside of Synapse, controlled, balanced, dynamic, haptic intensity, okay? Off, low, all the way up to high. Input source kind of goes without saying, PC, USB, console, USB, auxiliary, exactly what you see in the back. Side tone levels can be adjusted from off and then numerically to 15. Back to volume. The one that I skipped was the equalizer on accident. So you have custom, game mode, movie mode, music mode, and then back to custom. So you can also, if I can find it, you should be able to, I'm not seeing it. My bad, man, my bad. So on the Death Adder, Black Widow, I keep saying Death Adder, my apologies. On the Black Widow, you can change the graphic in the front. There are a bunch of different patterns. I need to check to see if there was a firmware update in the last couple of weeks, or maybe I have to do it through Synapse, but I would not be surprised if you can customize this screen too. Okay, so final thoughts, kind of how I feel about this. The question I think we all need to be asking ourselves, is $400 worth it? Here's where I come with something like this. $400 means something different to different people. Playing in comfort means different things to different people. I know you're probably thinking I'm about to justify a $400 price point, but I kind of am. So you don't need to change your laptop every 2 years, which I know is a thing that people do, right? Like I do it, I'm notorious for it. I've had my MacBook for almost 4 years, but I've only had my gaming desktop for like 9 months. Like I do cycle through products a lot because this is my hobby. I really enjoy it. And I guess my point is, instead of spending money on upgrading for performance, you can spend money on upgrading for comfort and enjoyment, right? The fact that you can listen to two sources simultaneously is really cool. The OLED screen here, the control hub, makes things a little bit easier to access. These are 40 millimeter drivers. They're Razer's Triforce Bio cellulose technology, and they sound great. And it's probably a headset you're going to have for up to 10 years. In which case, what's $400? If you break it down over 10 years and you're not upgrading your laptop that year you decide to buy this. Keyboards, same thing. Keep them clean and don't eat food while you game, and your keyboard will last you a very long time as well. Point is, guys, like it means different things to different people. I know I'm going to get comments that these are hella expensive. I'm going to get comments that, Razer tax, and yeah, there's Razer tax, but you're getting, from what I can tell, a unique product set. I haven't seen anything else like this exactly. And also audio is not my thing, so it's possible I've just missed it. If you want to buy this, don't feel guilty about it. Unless you can't afford it, then you should feel guilty. But if you work hard and you want to upgrade your situation, freaking get something cool. Whether it's this or a keyboard or, I don't know, a lampshade, something that just makes you feel good. There's nothing wrong with being a bit of a consumer. Just don't overdo it. All right, I hope you found that helpful and the motivational speech was free. You enjoy that, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.